Here's why Gen Z's attention span is so cooked, how attention span works, and then also what you can do to fix your attention span. And you can skip this video, it's going to be a little bit of a boring one, but if you do skip it, I'll just warn you, you're going to be stuck in your old ways of old attention span habits where you're just doom scrolling, you're not doing the things in life that truly matter the most that you know you should be doing, and you're just going to remain the same person. So if you're not going to watch this video to the end and like follow through, then like that's what you're going to miss out on, and you're just going to be the same person. And that's going to affect you for the worse for the rest of your life. So let's get started. So here is why Gen Z has such a terrible attention span. So the first thing is it really comes down to just access to dopamine, because how attention span works is it's basically the brain comparing amount of effort per dopamine hit. So if one has to like literally, go out, kill an elephant, bring it home for the tribe, and then everyone celebrates and they all eat an elephant around the campfire, and that's the easiest way that they can get a dopamine hit, then their attention span is going to be very good, because they're going to be out there in the woods, sitting patiently with their spares, waiting for whatever animal to come by, and then they all, chase after it and kill it or whatever. And like that's what they have to do to get their dopamine hit. And then you go to like, let's just say the 1950s, and it's like, well, you had to get a good job and maybe work for several months, and you get a promotion or you buy something in the mail, and it's like that was kind of their baseline. They've got a different baseline. It's higher, but it's easier to get dopamine hits. Maybe you hang out with your friends and they're all really chill guys, and like, you're all having a great time and they're complimenting you, and like, okay, there's your baseline for getting a dopamine hit. And then versus like nowadays where we have, our phone in our pocket, we can just pull it out and start scrolling reels, and the amount of work and effort for a dopamine hit is this, which is basically nothing. So you take that compared to like getting your friends together to hang out with them, or getting your tribe together and going and hunt with them. So it's like much higher baseline, lower, and even lower, where it's like literally, no effort at all. And so basically our brain is trained to seek the path of least resistance. So we're going to try for the quickest and easiest dopamine hit. And if that's going to be like swiping and scrolling on your phone, then that's what we're going to do. That's just what the brain's wired to do. Easiest dopamine hit per effort invested, basically. And so dopamine is literally just your brain comparing things. And like kind of that's also sort of how work happens, or how work works too, because the brain's also thinking about like, oh, how much effort do I have to put in? If it's a lot, if it sees it as a lot of effort and a lot of energy, it's like, I don't want to do that. And so it comes down to like this anchoring principle of psychology where your brain's just comparing, how much work, how much effort, how much dopamine. And it runs that equation every time, and that's how it determines whether you're going to do something or not. So that's kind of like why Gen Z's dopamine system is so cooked and dysregulated, kind of how dopamine works. So now here's kind of the solution, where it's like these are the things that you can apply right now today to fix this. And so it comes down to kind of the same anchoring principle. If you think about people that have had horrendous life experiences, like, maybe they were in some prison camp during the communist ages or something like that, and then they come out of that, it's like normal life is like a piece of cake for them, because they're comparing what they went through, the insane life circumstances, to what they're seeing today. And it's like, well, or also immigrants are another fantastic example, because it's like they came from a country where they've had no electricity, they had to work like the devil to make ends meet, and then they come to, say, America, and it's like it's the same anchoring principle at play, because things are so much easier by comparison. Also, running a marathon, it's like after one runs a marathon, it's like a 5-minute workout, piece of cake. And so if one does things consistently that are more difficult, then that's going to increase their attention span, because they're going to be comparing the amount of effort that a 30-minute workout was to getting out of bed, and it's like getting out of bed's a piece of cake. Not hard. Very easy compared to the 30-minute workout. So if one does something difficult every day, then it makes other things throughout the day way easier. And then the other thing one can also do is just not be overstimulated all the time, because when one constantly gives in to these easy, no effort, no work dopamine hits, then that's a problem, because the brain is always doing that comparison equation I talked about earlier, and it's just like, I don't want to work. because this is way easier. So your brain's like, fastest, most efficient source of dopamine, that's this. I'm gonna go down this path, and I'm not gonna do the work that you desperately want me to do until the absolute very last minute, right before your deadline. And so that's like just kind of how the brain's dopamine system works, and why people's attention span is so problematic these days.